for 3 other major copper mines in this particular area. If you look at the next photograph that I'm going to put up on our screens, which is here. This is the photograph. Have a look at the scale of the devastation that has been done. Okay, the construction they have done. So basically this entire green forest cover right in the middle, they've stripped it. Again, this photograph is a few years old, so you can imagine all of this has been completely stripped and completely demolished over there. Now these guys have basically been using the copper that they produce here is basically used for the construction of power cables. Now here's an example of the power cables that are being built here. Remember, the Chinese are building several dams. 4 dams they're building on the Sangpo, which is the Brahmaputra. So the copper cables are used for laying of the power lines that are being produced from this mine. Here's another this is the photograph of the mountaintop of Yulong. Okay, let me just show you another mine that the Chinese are putting together. This Gauri is something called the Tanjianshan gold mine. Okay, this is in the northwest of Qinghai. Okay, this is incidentally part owned by a a Canadian firm which has invested in this mine, but once again operating out of Chinese occupied Tibet. Here's another photograph. This is of the Tanjianshan gold mine. Have a look at this water structure that they've built, showing you clearly the poisoned water. Remember, you're dealing with lead, you're dealing with mercury, you're dealing with antimony, and you're dealing with, in terms of gold processing, you have to deal with arsenic. These are basically, it's all poison. And this is where the poison is going, and this poison is being basically stored in Tibet, which is the home of all the principal rivers of Asia. Here's another photograph. This is the Mole coal mine. This is once again on the Tibetan plateau. This is one of the largest coal mines. You completely see all black. Okay, from the coal pits over there, and the scale of the construction activity that's happened. They're complaining about one road that we are trying to build near Dollar Bay Goldie. Look at the scale of the construction activity that the Chinese are doing, and this is just the mines, not even the dams. Here's another example of a mine. This is Gauri, a copper mine, a zinc mine that is being put together. This is the Zitishan lead zinc mine. This is run by the Western Mining Corporation, again one of China's biggest mining corporations. You can see again full mountainside which is being stripped for lead zinc over here. And let me just quickly show you one last photograph here. This is the Muli coal mine. This is again in Qinghai. Okay, again you can see completely black areas on your screen of the coal deposits that are being extracted. And again, look at the level of the construction activities in terms of the loads, the barrages that have been put up, the rail lines, the complexes that are being built by the Chinese. It's completely operating at a completely different level, which we now need to understand deeply in the other parts of the globe. Gauri.
Right, Rishabh, what is happening in the Lunze County? What is the scale of China's operation there?
The reason this is very important, let me put this on a map if I can, of particularly where this Lunze County is. Here's a graphical description if we can. Here we go. So the green areas that you're seeing on the bottom of your screens, okay, that is Arunachal Pradesh. Okay. Here is the Tawang. So where Tawang Monastery? Mm-hmm. So the Tawang Monastery is here. Okay. So literally right next to the border is running here, McMahon line border, okay, is running here. Okay. This is the Indo-China border. Okay. So literally look at the green cover on the Indian side, okay, and look at the color of the terrain on the Chinese side. You can just see like there's a line through it. On the Indian side is almost completely green, and the Chinese side is completely barren. And the reason for that is this particular spot, Lunze. Now in Lunze, they have been running a mining operation which is valued at $60 billion of mineral ore reserves just in this county, this particular area, $60 billion. Now the Tibet Huayu Mining Corporation, which is a Shanghai listed mining corporation, is doing gold mining. They do gold mining, silver mining, and other precious metals over here. This is literally, you're talking about so this is Lindsay town, so just 45 kilometers, this entire area of Lindsay town, basically around Lindsay town, they are stripping. They are predicting that 600,000 tons of lead, zinc and antimony, okay. And this particular mine, Gauri, is what very next to? Right next to a major Chinese highway. So this is called the S202. Okay, this is the road that the Chinese have built almost all the way till Tawang. So if this is the border, okay, they've built the road almost to the border with Tawang, and they're using the road not only to threaten India and the Tawang monastery, because they keep claiming Arunachal Pradesh, but they use this road to take out all the mining materials that they're pulling out from there. This is making their movement operational. Okay, there is another mine called the Norbusa mine. The Norbusa mine is slightly north of Lunze, so it's slightly towards here. So on both sides of the town, this is the biggest chromite mine. So over here on the north is the biggest chromite mine in Chinese occupied Tibet that they're operating out of this. All of this has caused massive pollution in the Nangmechu river, which is flowing through the Luns Valley. This river, for as far as India is concerned, this becomes the Subansiri river that flows into the valley. It's not a major river, but again, remember, just a few years ago, a tributary of the Brahmaputra, we saw the entire waters of the Brahmaputra turn black. And the reason they turned black was because of all the slag that was coming in from the Chinese mining operations in this area. We are being told that in between Gayama, Yulon, and I've shown you the Gayama mines, I've shown you the Yulon mines. These are the biggest copper deposits and gold deposits, and they're doing large-scale industrial mining. This is not people with gold pans who are moving around. This is large-scale industrial mining, as you can easily see from all the plans that we've gone out. Then you have in Shigatse, the Yarlun Zakpo. These are all areas that they're investing in, and the total estimation, Gauri, is there are 102 various kinds of minerals in more than 3,000 mining sites they are trying to extricate out of Tibet. The rough estimation is that anywhere between $100 to $500 billion worth of ores, mineral ores, lithium, copper, gold, zinc, coal, petroleum, they are trying to pull out of Tibet. So they move into Tibet. Okay, and let me just give you an example of what they do. Here's a photograph. This is important to photograph. So what these guys do is, these are Chinese geologists that go in. Okay, and with every road construction, every army convoy, every railway construction, they send in the Chinese geologists. These guys do the surveys. Okay, here's another photograph of them doing the surveys. They do the surveys and analysis. Okay, then mark it on a map. Then they build a road. Once they build a road, they send in the heavy machinery and they become industrial mining. It serves two purposes: to build their strategic border assets. So the roads are used by the military and by the miners. That's it. And this is the scale of the mining operation they're doing. Okay, both the pit mining, which is the open mining, strip mining as I've described, and under earth mining, all of that is happening in Tibet. $100 to $500 billion worth of assets are being stripped out of Tibet as we speak. The money all goes to China, doesn't go for the development of Tibet. They use the money to further ensure that they build more infrastructure work for the military. They build more infrastructure work for their further mining operations. And this is how, Gauri, they are looting Tibet. And they're turning the gold, copper, and other natural resources of Tibet to boost not only their economic resources, but their military power, and then basically make the local Buddhist Tibetans absolutely vanish, when the most sacred sites of Tibetan Buddhism have been turned into mines.
Right, and is this why it continues to strike rich in Tibet? Is this the reason why?
No, which is why they're moving in. So I mentioned the 3,000 mining sites, 126. Let me read out a list of significant reserves. Corundum, vanadium, titanium, magnesite, sulfur, mica, cesium, rubidium, arsenic, graphite, lepidolite, potash, copper, gold, silver, zinc, oil, gas, everything they are going to be pulling out of Tibet. And this is a compilation of already what's been done. They're doing the dam construction, for which we've done another video on China's Himalayan invasion, road construction, railway construction. Let me just show you what they did with the Tibet railway. Let me see if I can pull out that particular graphic for you. When they were doing the surveying for the Tibet railway, okay, and if I can pull out a map of the Tibetan railway, I'm sure I had it somewhere. when they were doing the road survey construction for the Tibetan Railway, these guys found 10 million tons of copper deposits while doing the Tibet Railway search. Can't particularly find the particular map here, but I've done it in another video. So the Tibetan Railway, I'll use this map of Tibet to point out. So the Tibetan Railway is running from Lhasa. So Lhasa is in the center here, okay? So it's running from Lhasa, and the Tibetan Railway running into Qinghai. In that entire area, and in the middle you see the blue lines. So the blue lines are you have the Sangpo, there you have the Indus River, okay? The Sangpo which becomes the Brahmaputra at that hairpin curve that goes into India, okay? North of that you have, at the very top of Qinghai, you are having the Yellow River. South of that you have you have the Yangtze, and then you have the Mekong. The Mekong is the one that's going down towards the south. It then goes into Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, Thailand. Okay. While they were building the railway line, they did estimates of 10 million tons of copper deposits. So while building the line, doing the prospecting, while they're doing the prospecting, they build the railway, they get in the heavy machinery, build offshoots of roads from the railway and begin this. Basically, the plan is to strip Tibet. The same thing, they do it, they make the raw material, it feeds China. Then tomorrow you end up building this new Silk Road. This new Silk Road is going to be what? It's going to be for these raw materials. So what China can't consume, you take them to Kashgar. From Kashgar, you send them down into the CPEC, and you send them to Gwadar. From Gwadar, you start sending them to other parts of the world. Otherwise, you build rail lines and roadway lines from Kashgar getting into Central Asia to Russia. And this is the basic exploitation. And the Tibetan Free Tibet region, which incorporates 2.5 of the Chinese existing provinces, including the autonomous region. This is what they're doing to completely strip it and loot it. And this is just Tibet. Similar things are going on in Xinjiang and other places.
Well, thanks, Rishabh, for that. That was really informative. And thanks for watching this video. For more such videos, subscribe to NewsX YouTube.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.